I'm coming up. I'm speaking normally.
You're not always
I am
quiet.
speaking normally.
Project your voice. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm joined here by Tom Lewis, who is currently 51 in the world, and he's just got back from the PGA Tour, so we've managed to grab a little bit of time with him to answer 20 quick fire questions. Okay, so the first one's easy. What's your favourite course?
Favourite course in the UK is Walton Heath. It's been special to me ever since I was young. The one in America where I won Corn Ferry event, that was special. That was Victoria National. That was a really special golf course. In the world, there was one in Morocco in the King's Course, which was unbelievable. It was in his back garden, and you'd never seen anything like it. It scared me playing it.
Does it make you want to have a golf course in your garden?
Yes, 100%. I think that's going to be very unlikely.
Okay, question 2. If you weren't a golfer, what would you want to be?
I'd be a professional football player. And I'm not just saying that because everyone says that, I was really good. I was really good. So, and I was left-footed, so that really helped. If I was right-footed, maybe not, but not many people play left-footed. And I was able to use both feet, but dominantly left-footed.
What is your earliest tournament golfing memory?
The earliest memory I have playing golf was when my dad drove me down to a golf course in Essex. I remember warming up on the range. We hit our own golf balls on the range, and then we were walking to the first tee, and I was in tears because it was my first ever golf tournament.
Like actual tears?
Yeah, actual tears. And I was had to wear sunglasses because I was welling up. And Dad was like, "Come on, you got to play." So I ended up playing. That was only last year.
Because you were so nervous.
Yeah, I was
you were
so
crying.
nervous. But it was interesting. And then I remember you get used to it, obviously. And now I get really excited, and I do miss playing tournaments when I'm not playing.
Okay, next question. What is your most memorable golf shot?
I think for me, when I first won in Portugal in 2011, I just turned pro, and this was my third ever pro event, and I was leading the tournament, and the 17th hole was a par 5 with water all the way down the right hand side, and there's a lot of room left, and I remember thinking to myself, I need to hit the fairway to make sure I can go for the green too. So I aimed the drive in the water and drew it off the water. And then my second shot was memorable because it was the pin was front right and it was over water, and my target was back left part of the green, and it was a 4-iron off a slight upslope, and I hit the perfect shot, hit exactly where I wanted to hit it, and it landed just on the back left and trickled to the back, rolled back down, and I 2-putted from there and then went on to win the tournament. I think that, with the pressure that I had on myself to be able to hit that shot exactly as I envisioned it.
Got that?
I'm dyslexic. And then I was just that was brilliant. And I think that's always going to stay with me.
Okay, this is a question from one of my followers. How does life differ on the PGA Tour compared to the European Tour?
It's a good question because it's definitely different. You speak to a lot of Europeans and they don't really enjoy the PGA Tour as much as the European Tour, just because on the European Tour it's much more family orientated. You stay in the same hotels, you get dropped off in courtesy cars, you eat dinner, you see everyone in the same restaurants. It's quite homely, and they look after you very well on the European Tour. You play on the PGA Tour is much more individual, much more you're on your own. You land, they look after you amazingly. They give you a car. Right now we're getting tested every Monday, and then that's it. You're off. You drive to a tournament, you're on your own. Everyone's a lot more individual, and you feel a little bit more lonely. They don't care about you as much. You're used to the European Tour really looking after you and be like, "Oh, we were so happy for you to be here." The PGA Tour is a little bit more just there, just go. Yeah. You're there to play. You're one of the guys. Do what you want. And I really enjoy that personally, and I can see why maybe other people struggle out there. But I love it. I do love it, and I do love coming back home to play in Europe. you feel more special to look after you. Like, oh, John, lovely to be here. And I'm like, I feel like a king on the PGA Tour. Like, just play, get on with it. You know, that's probably the difference in the two. But I enjoy them both in different ways.
Okay, so what tip would you give me in playing golf?
I think.
Bearing in mind I'm a beginner, so.
Yeah, I know. I've seen it.
Thanks.
I think the best thing for me is to. Obviously, it's different for you because you're trying to teach other people, so you have to learn a lot of things. But if you can keep it as simple as possible, that really helped me when I was younger. When I tried too hard to improve too fast, that's when I got confused and complicated. And you can see the way I am in life. The more simple things can be, the easier it is to understand.
So would you say like focus on one thing
I think
repeatedly?
I think your grip and stance, if you can get that right, usually you can tell from a golfer whether they've got a good swing by the way they set up. You know, you look at Adam Scott, it doesn't look like he can go wrong from the setup.
Yeah.
You kind of look at someone like Daniel Berger or Dustin Johnson, and all of a sudden you know something's going to be funky in their swing because they're set up slightly differently to the way that Tiger Woods set up or Adam Scott classic look, which with modern technology now, you don't have to maybe be as good at setup, but it doesn't mean that you shouldn't try to make things simple from the beginning, because then it's just a chain reaction from there.
There you go, lesson. Stance and grip in your setup are key. Next question. How does your caddy, Jonathan Bell, help you most?
I think for me, John has been a good friend. Since I was a kid, we grew up together, and he's been a great golfer, so he understands what's going through my mind under the gun, under pressure. I'm quite intense sometimes, you know, I can get on top of myself, I can beat myself up if I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so he can get me to smile at the times that I should. I was annoyed at the WGC last few weeks is I had a chance to win. I messed up a couple of holes and I got lucky on the last, and I have a 2-footer for par. I'm probably going to hole it, but you never know. And he sort of says, hey Tom, don't forget to smile. And the way he does it, you're like, okay. So you're over the putt just thinking, this is fun. But if you surround yourself with intense people, all of a sudden that putt becomes more pressurised. I don't think that helps, because we're under our own pressures anyway. And for someone like John, he's been a great asset for me to realise that there's more to life than just golf, and I want to work hard for him as well. His fun side definitely chills me out, and it's made me play good golf over the last 2 years.
Honestly, I think relaxing is really important in terms of being able to hit a good shot, compared to when you're a robot like me.
Which I could tell yesterday, because when I watched you were terrible, but when I wasn't watching you were better.
See, there you go.
Pressure.
Do you have any guilty pleasures?
Yes, I do. Salt and vinegar crisps are my weakness.
Nice. Any brand?
Jacob's crackers,
Okay.
salt and vinegar crisps. I just eat the whole bag. Like, there's no sharing. You're not having any. They're like
Jacob's crackers?
Yeah, they
on
make
their
crisps.
Own? Oh.
They make crisps, but I think that they didn't sell very well. Now they don't make them, but I'm gutted because
you're the only buyer.
Yeah, I realised in lockdown that I think I bought the last 5 or 6 packets. If I'm flying and I have a headache, I'll eat salt and vinegar crisps. If I'm unhappy because I played bad, I'll eat salt and vinegar crisps. Like, that's my thing. That's probably my guilty pleasure.
So if anyone knows anyone who stocks Jacob's salt and vinegar crackers, send them to Tom.
Thank you.
Who are you closest to on tour?
Probably Eddie Pepperell's probably my closest friend on tour, and Laurie Cantor. We grew up together as amateurs, and both have done well on the European tour over the last few years. Especially Laurie's been playing well recently, so I'm really happy for him. But they're guys that we can share memories with. You know, what we used to be up to, what we were like, and where we've come. You know, where we've been on our lows, where we've been on our highs, and I think we're able to understand each other. You know, we're the same age, we all get on with each other, and they've got amazing spouses, and I love them, you know, as much as them guys. I feel a little bit sometimes like I'm a fifth wheel, because we normally go out as a 5, and I'm like on my own. So maybe one day I can meet someone and then they can get on with them as well. But I think for me, Eddie and Laurie are probably the closest I can get to. There's loads of guys out there that are really nice, for sure. But I wouldn't probably trust other people as much as I would trust them with information if I'm sad or if I feel uncomfortable with something, or, you know, if I wanted to go to dinner, they're the guys I would lean towards.
So you've just come back off the course after a tournament. What would you typically do?
everyone's different. For me, it depends on the week. If I had my trainer there, so if I had Rob with me, I would finish my round. We'd have something to eat. We'd assess the round, how I felt the day went, how I physically felt. We'd then go back. We'd either do treatment on a massage table or something, or if we'd go into a gym if I felt like I needed to activate certain muscle groups or something. Other weeks it can be that the facilities aren't that great and it's just a matter of going back to the room and just being on my phone, just looking through Instagram and trying to switch off from the golf side of it. But other players, they travel with their families, so they could be going to restaurants together or meeting up with other players. It really does depend on the individual. I'm sure some have Tinder dates. Them types of guys don't normally tell you unless you see them out in a restaurant and you're like, that's definitely a date. But it can differ between everyone. So right now I'm probably the guy that goes back to his room and goes on Instagram and comments on your posts.
Which leads me on to the next question, which you guys have asked. How do you know me?
So I'm flicking through Instagram on my Explore, and all that's ever on my Explore is cars, watches, football, golf swings, and girls.
I fit into 2 categories there.
And you somehow slipped into 2 categories, and I thought, this girl looks like she's got an okay swing. Okay being, 4 out of 10.
There's room for improvement.
Yeah. I'm thinking, okay, what's the story? So I was looking through and I was like, oh, okay, I'll comment on a swing.
No, you commented on my story.
Did I comment on your story? And then straight
About
away.
me wearing Adidas.
And then I'm like, you can't wear that. But good swing. And then within no
Only
time,
because he's a Nike guy.
Nike athlete, you replied, and then ever since you're trying to befriend me.
Befriend.
Dyslexic. Take 2. We get on and I give you some advice and you learn a few things. Probably not a good coach, but probably quite good to teach you a few things about how golf works, and I think friendships just escalated and you've got good banter. And
there you go.
And I
Banter
appreciate that, and I can take the rubbish that you give me, and I think it's cool.
There you go. Easy as that on Instagram. It is as social as you think if you slide into someone's DMs. Okay, Tom, show us your best golf trick.
Oh God, I don't have one. But I'm going to try.
Okay.
I'm going to try, but most guys are really good at it. I just don't have time to do it because I'm DMing you on Instagram. Lucy, I ain't got the best trick. I ain't really got one.
That was awesome. Okay. You're on your own. You just got home. You turn on the TV. What are you putting on?
Film-wise, I'm probably watching an Avengers film. It's a
Nice.
true story, so I love it. But if I was watching a TV series right now, I'm watching like Jack Whitehall. I think it's called Travelling with His Father.
Yeah, that's really
And
funny.
that is something that I just can't. I just love because I think that it's clearly a little bit of acting, but you just don't know. And I think his dad is just hilarious, and I just picture me doing it with my dad, and it just would not be the same. And I think it's just hilarious, and I think if anyone can watch it, I definitely would choose to do it.
Yeah, if you've not seen it, it is really, really funny. It's Jack Whitehall and his dad, and they're travelling. I can't even describe it.
Yeah.
It's definitely a laugh.
It's great.
If you were to have someone act as you in a film, who would it be?
I think that Ryan Reynolds is my favourite actor right now. I think his demeanour and like his humour is just brilliant, and I think if I could be that funny, I really would choose to. But yeah, I think him, and also he'd probably boost my profile from a visual. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's a very good-looking guy.
Didn't mean to agree.
That's okay. I can take it. It's okay. But he is a good-looking guy, funny, and I just think that he would be a perfect person. I'd love him to act for me.
Okay, so who do you actually think is your celeb lookalike?
Well, Chris Hemsworth's got similar, physique.
I don't know why I'm laughing.
What? It's Thor. And then they asked me if I could do it, and I said I was really busy because I'm doing an interview for you, and that's how I didn't get the job. So, him. I think people always mistake me for like Beckham and Brad Pitt.
Stop laughing.
I don't know. Look at me. I'm average at best. No one's second looking at this. You walk past the street, you see Tom Lewis, you think, he's all right. You don't look back, but you don't think I'm ugly. I'm like right in the middle.
Moving on. So Tom, do you have any habits?
Not really. I think the only thing that people would recognise about me is that I'm very tidy, so I probably have OCD. My house is clean all the time. I always say like there's no need to tidy up if it's never messy. So that's kind of my maybe habit. It's just being tidy, but not really.
So we've got Tom to take a quick video of his wardrobe, which I'll show you now. Celeb crush?
Ariana Grande,
Yeah.
potentially. But I do really, really think Michelle Keegan is gorgeous. But some Americans might not know who she is, so let's go with Ariana Grande.
So give us a little snippet into your love life.
Oh God. Single, so it hasn't worked out. Common denominator. I think I've had really, I really care about. I really like feeling wanted.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's great to feel like you have someone that cares about you. I think I'm a little bit selfish sometimes. Like I focus so much on my career and feel like I've lost years. I think in my stage in my career, I need to be a little bit more selfish, and probably if I am to be in a relationship with someone, they would understand my needs and what I want and what makes me happy. And right now, I think that success on the golf course is bringing me that happiness, and it's also making me drive to work harder. And I'm very lucky. I'm able to travel the world and meet really nice people, and hopefully my personality comes out. And some people like spending time with me, but it hasn't been good because obviously I am single. I think that's down to me, not down to them. But I do appreciate what I've learned from them relationships, because I've learned a lot from them, and that's all we ever do is learn from our mistakes. And I've made many mistakes in relationships and maybe wish I was different, but my personality is my personality, and hopefully one day I'll meet a person that does understand me maybe more than my previous relationships.
So if you're looking for relationship advice, please contact Tom Lewis on 044923. If you could spend time with anyone for 24 hours, who would you choose?
Tiger Woods would obviously be someone that I really want to spend time with, because I feel like I could learn so much from him in that space of time that maybe I've missed. Someone that's had to deal with a lot of pressure internally and externally. His work ethic, the way he thinks, the way he sees life. I think that's something that would be unbelievable. But I have been very lucky, and I've spent a lot of time with Michael Phelps, who's obviously the Tiger Woods of swimming and the Olympics. So to be able to be in contact with someone like Michael, I'm sure if he was in a room with Tiger or all the other greats, they would have very similar thought processes.
Yeah.
So I think I'm very fortunate to be able to know these people, and hopefully I can continue to learn a lot from these guys. But Tiger would be the one that I want to spend 24 hours with. Or Ariana Grande, if she'd take me.
How do you know Michael?
Michael is a friend of mine.
Okay.
And we spent some time together. We stayed in the same house in Cabo over in Mexico, and just an awesome specimen, awesome guy, and doesn't make me feel good when he takes the top off.
Yeah.
And he plays golf.
Can't imagine him explaining.
He plays his golf without shirt on, and I'm like,
is he a good golfer?
no, I'm not going to do No, he's not very good.
Okay, final question for you, Tom. Where do you see yourself in the near future? Like, what is there for you?
I think, 29 now. I'm hoping that my career continues over in the US. You know, I'd like to be established over there, you know, win out within the next 12 months, get a second win within, you know, a short time after that, feel more confident and comfortable. I've got a great opportunity here in the UK. Me and my brother work together on properties, you know, so hopefully that can take off and we can own, you know, a lot of properties in the time. And I don't want to play golf when I'm 50 onwards. You know, I want that to be the next 20 years be totally golf, and meet someone, you know, have a family. But then when 50 comes, I want to be able to spend time with them people and maybe set up like a bar or a club or something like that and just have a great time.
Are you a big drinker?
No, I'm not a big drinker, no. I'm not. But I do enjoy going out, seeing friends, seeing families, and like enjoying my life. I think the stress of professional golf is probably not healthy from 50 onwards. And I need to find what makes me happy. Right now, golf is making me happy. But when I'm 50, I'm hoping that family and, you know, kids and, you know, clubbing, something that I enjoy doing can take the buzz and the thrill of being in a competition and competing against others. I'm hoping that when I get to 50 that I'm done with that and I can just enjoy my life with people that I care about.
All sounds very exciting.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tom, for taking the time to answer some of our questions. Also, thank you to all of you guys who have sent in questions. And if you do want to follow Tom on Instagram, you can do so at __TL7. I think you should change your Instagram handle.
Yeah, it's not great, but that's what I had at the time.
Yeah, he needs an update there. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, also it's at MiaEllaX. And thank you so much for watching. Final words?
Ow!
So it's not so bad, is it?
What?
Being filmed.
No, I'm a fucking superstar.
Yeah, exactly.
Tom Lewis is going to be the best golfer you've ever interviewed in your life. And probably will always be.
Okay. You're currently 51 in the world, are you? And it's like at TL_7_7_7_.
I don't know, it's rubbish.
Well, change it, I would never find you. You ready?
Alan just heard you were here. We're filming for like super millions of followers right now. Action. We are at my home. This is my second home. This is where I grew up. Well, we pretty much have most bags from most of the majors that I played with Callaway. And then I've got my sponsor that was with me from a young age here, Tullow Oil. And then I've got the Tavistock Cups here, that the tournaments I played in the US. England when I was a boy. More boy bags up there, like from playing for Great Britain and Ireland. Yeah, they, as you can tell, I might have struggled with my putting over the years, hence why I have so many.
All tried and tested?
But this one, it's the winning putter in gold. In 2011 with Ping, they make one.
Let's have a look.
They make you a replica of the putter that you used when you won.
Wow. Awesome.
And then they're my caddies.
And then his caddies all along the top. Nice.
Yeah, you're welcome.